And now sports with Chris Duerr from the Little Jess Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram Sports Desk.
And tip-top of the evening, everybody, and welcome to Sports Final. This is week number 9, and believe it or not, Ben, the end of the regular season.
And the end of the road for all of our Southeast Iowa squads, as well as all but 10 of our Illinois teams, with only Brown County really fighting for a spot in the postseason dance tonight. Still, there were storylines worth settling tonight, including Quincy High's quest for a second straight regular season perfect season.
In the city of Jefferson, no less, against a good 6-2 Cap City team. Coming in tonight, how would the Blue Devils fare? Well, this was an offensive shootout from start to finish in this one. And in the first quarter, it starts with Duerr Rice doing what he does, taking the easy handoff, plunging in for the first score of the ball game. Cap City would answer with a touchdown. How about this connection? Brain Little, absolutely phenomenal. Up top here to Mr. Rice. It's a 58-yard pitch and catch, and Mr. Rice is going to do the rest to put Quincy High School up 14-7. The defense stepping up right here. How about Rico Clay Jr. with the interception? He's going to return it deep into Cap City territory. However, off that bounce, the offense could not convert. Second quarter, after Capital City took a brief lead, Mr. Little is going to go deep yet again, this time to Rico Clay Jr. It's a 72-yard pass play to give the Blue Devils a 21-17 lead. The Cavaliers answer about a minute later. It's Evan Schaefer working with his third touchdown pass in the first half. I told you, we had two guys throwing the ball all the way around. He hit Marcus Driver. It's 24-21, but look what happens on the ensuing kickoff. Mr. Rice, do your thing. Quincy High School takes the lead late in the first half, never relinquishes it. 9-0 is the finish. And yes, Rice is nice indeed. The Blue Devils get the win in this one, 42-31. Good tester for them headed into the postseason as they'll find out their fate tomorrow night. In the Central State 8 tonight, Quincy Notre Dame completes their run to an undefeated run through the Central State 8, taking out Decatur MacArthur 28-7. Wyatt Mueller with a 92-yard touchdown rumble in that one. We hope to have highlights of that one for you. Complete highlights. Hard to get them back on a short clock tonight from Decatur, but we will do that for you tomorrow on the Overtime Show. Also, Jacksonville joins Quincy Notre Dame from the Central State 8 West Division as playoff eligible. They are likely in. We'll find out their fate tomorrow as they beat Lincoln to wrap up the regular season. 51-21 your final there. Brown County 4-4 tonight coming in, Ben. They needed a win to try to get in.
Yeah, we mentioned in the open that there was a lot on the line for this Brown County squad. Boy, did the defense show up early. First, it's a combination of Tice Fullerton and Drew Markert on the tackle for a loss. Then it's Mr. Markert on the sack just moments later. And here comes that Brown County defense. But then going the other way, some defense coming on both sides, and it's Bing low with the fumble recovery. Brown County momentum stifled right there. But they would get things going just a couple of moments later when they did eventually get back on offense. First, a 30-yard connection coming here out of the right arm of Maverick Henry. Nice ball right there to get things moving. And then just a couple of moments later, Brown County was in the red zone and they punched it in with Trey Fullerton taking it on the ground. Didn't have far to go, but he finds the end zone. Brown County scores right there. And you'll see the 2-point conversion not long after to Tice Fullerton from Henry. That makes it 22-8 Brown County. We're going to have another huge pass here as we're going deep, and it's Hayden Hurley on the receiving end. Look at that pass right in the bucket. Nice throw right there. And we'll go all the way to the 1-yard line just a couple of moments later as it's Kanye Mitchell carrying this ball all the way down. And once he does get down to the 1-yard line, it's Fullerton again who punches it in. This one, a good night for Brown County. They win it 34-14.
Camp Point Central trying to spoil senior night for Winchester West Central. Both these teams going to make the playoffs. 7-1 versus 6-2 coming in tonight. Early on, Caden Niekamp, he's powerful and fast from 7 yards away. Gives his team the early 8-0 lead in this one. And you may have heard as well that Mr. Niekamp, big number 52, man, I'll never get used to seeing that out of the backfield. He can play a little defense as well, just toying with his meal tonight, his prey. What a tackle for loss that was. A little bit later, it's Nate Peters doing the deed and extending that lead to 16-0. This is a heck of a run by Mr. Peters, and yes, to all of the fans out there of Nate Peters, we did indeed get it. I have video proof of that for you. Good stuff from him. You want to talk about a monster pop? One of the biggest of the season right there by Zach Ware. Huge stuff from him. Caden Niekamp going to come up with a tackle for loss right here as well. You know what? Central's defense looked really good early. Colton Brown, though, really a great player from West Central. Watch his work as he at least tries to slow down Camp Point Central. Hard to do that as the Panthers build a 24-0 lead. Never look back. They'll finish the regular season at 8-1 with a 40-8 victory tonight. Elsewhere in the WIVC crossover games, it was Unity Payson getting their 4th win of the season, beating North Green to hopefully cap the season on a good note for them. 44-22 your final there. Greenfield Northwestern, too much for a Triopia tonight. Calhoun jumps all over Beardstown. Route Catholic and Carrollton go at it tomorrow for playoff seeding. And Pittsfield in overtime tonight beats Porta 34-26. Lane Foster with a late touchdown in that one. How about them Rushville Industry Rockets, man?
A 7-1 Rushville Industry team, really strong team going for a win tonight against South Fulton on the road. Let's get things going. First play from scrimmage, and the Rockets set the tone early as Jagger Bartlett is there. The leaping interception, nicely done there to bring it in, and it was all Rockets from there as the run game would be the theme all night in this one. First, Ryan Reimolds gets physical on this run, and there would be plenty more of those physical runs to follow later on in the drive. It's Reimolds again, and he would punch it in from inside the 5. That makes it 6-0. Man, it was hard to track the football all night the way the Rushville Industry team likes to move this football around, but he gets the touchdown right there. And the very next offensive drive for the Rockets. This may be the run of the week. Brady Downs would not be denied, spinning his way out of tackles. He was pumped up to score there. Doubles the Rockets lead 12-0. Now as South Fulton will get anything going, it's 4th down. Reimolds, he can play both ways. He's there for the tackle. That causes the turnover. Once again, it was a big night for Reimolds. And here's another Brady Downs highlight coming. This one, I don't know, might be better than the touchdown. A man amongst boys was Downs tonight. The stiff arm gets the Rockets inside the 5-yard line. And boy, they just kept things going on the ground all night. Once again, Brady Downs, he would punch in this one for the touchdown. Deserved the touchdown on that drive. He does just that for the Rockets. The route was really on in this one from there as it was 18-0 at that point. Just before half, Rushville Industry went to get another offensive drive going. It's Reimolds to get things moving with the big run. And then you're going to see in just a moment here, finally they call a pass play, and it's Bartlett who's going to hook up with Sebastian Berteau for the touchdown. There were just 2 seconds left in the half when he hit this one. That at the time made it 24-0. This one was all Rushville Industry. They go on to win this one 50-14. Your final score now 8-1 on the season.
Elsewhere in the state of Illinois tonight, it was Macomb punching their playoff ticket for good, likely getting a home game with a 42-0 win over Havana. West Hancock falls to Bureau Valley tonight to finish the season just 1-8. Illini West with a big win yesterday to get playoff eligible. And let's move on to Missouri now. Homecoming at Hannibal tonight, and away we go in this one, taking on Zumwalt West, a largely defensive affair early, and it started with the D1 prospect, Trey Hoskins, doing some wonderful things off the edge and showing off just how physical he can be. He's pretty darn physical. There's the answer to your question. He's got that requisite size and tackling ability and power. The defense raging early on in this one. Later, it's Darian Washington. You know him better for his work offensively. Defensively, he's pretty quick as well. And then offensive guard Jonathan Green plays some good defense right there. Nice takedown there. FCW, despite the deep penetration, had to settle for a field goal. Here comes Hannibal going to work. It's Mike Ferreira, who capped 1,000 yards tonight rushing for the 2nd straight season. Big pickup for him. Sets up a very short plunge from Waylon Anders to get his team back up at this point, 7-3 at that point. Trailing later, it's Anders working through the air. Great catch here by Carter Reed. That would set up another Waylon Anders 1-yard plunge. This game was a lot tighter than anybody thought or realized tonight, as you will see Mr. Reed and then Mr. Anders punctuate this thing, but Hannibal does hang on to get the victory and finish the regular season on an up note. Final count in this one was 20-17. Elsewhere tonight, for the Hannibal Pirates, great news for the volleyball squad as well. They'll play for a district championship on Monday after beating Zumwalt South in 4 tonight. Congratulations to the Lady Pirates on that front. More volleyball to come in a bit. How about Monroe City trying to force a 3-way tie tonight in the Clarence County Conference with a win over Macon? They could probably do just that, and it started off on a great note. Trey Smizer, do your thing. Another big night of kickoff returns. Smizer to the house in this one. We will show you much more extensive Monroe City Macon highlights coming up tomorrow. I had a little trouble with our tape, but we will show you those tomorrow as Monroe City gets the win in this one. 44-9 is your final. It is indeed a 3-way tie atop the Clarence County Conference as we go to the scoreboard, because Kirksville beats Centralia tonight. Well, that had no bearing on it, but big win for Kirksville over a Centralia team that had been red hot. 41-27 9-12 was your final there. Centralia gets a share of the conference title, as does South Shelby, which pitches the shutout over Palmyra tonight. Big time in that one. 44-0 for Adam Gunterman's team. That's 2 Clarence Cannon Conference shares in a row. Clark County all over Highland tonight. Bowling Green bounces back with a win over Mark Twain. Louisiana finishes the regular season winless. In 8-man football, North Shelby over Southwest Livingston tonight. Knox County wins its 3rd straight. Good stuff from them. And Schuyler County no match for Paris. And in Southeast Iowa tonight, Keokuk falls big to Mount Vernon. Also, a congratulations tonight in tennis, a state top 8 finish. All-state honors for Aubrielle Krigbaum from Hannibal as she completes a dream season with all conference, a district championship, and now all-state honors for her. Big-time volleyball in town tonight. Quincy, Notre Dame, and Hardham, Ben.
A really fun one between QND and Hardham. Let's jump right to a winner-take-all 3rd set. QND had to win the second one to force it, and we start with an Eva Breckenkamp spike. Seen plenty of those this season. And then another spike coming here by Trista Piper. The return goes out of bounds, making another point for QND. And then one who always seems to find her way into these highlights, it's Nora Wiley with the spike. Here's where things get fun and interesting. QND was down 14-13, so they give up one more, and this game is over. But Hardham can't return this one, so we are tied 14-14 apiece. And that's where Annie Eaton went to work for QND. She's serving it up for the Lady Raiders, and neither of her last 2 serves would be returned. So that means a 16-14 win for QND. They grabbed the last 2 sets to beat Hardham, come from behind fashion.
By the way, QND also taking out the #1 team in the state, Breeze Mater Dei, as QND sweeps the first three, yes, of their 4 matches, beating St. Teresa as well. Macomb and Lincoln, Ben.
Yeah, this one at the other campus at John Woods. Macomb taking on Lincoln. We will start with plenty of Macomb highlights, and it's Jack Adair, the spike coming right there. Cannot be returned as that one falls onto the hardwood. And then a player we have seen plenty of times in these highlights from Macomb is Kathleen Ukaranen doing what she does for that spike right there. And we're going to show you just one more from her as another spike coming. And this one continued to go back and forth early on for Macomb and Lincoln. Spike here from Kelly Ladd. Lincoln can't find it. You'd rather be lucky than good as it hits the floor. A point for Macomb. Sadly, that'd be about as good as things would get, as this one would go on to be won. Macomb would lose in 3 sets.